let's dive into some of the characteristics that I gleaned from our big four men of faith and what it really means to be a leader. Okay? So I want you all to know that I got this information from the Ephesians chapter 5, Ephesians chapter 5 portion of the chapter, which absolutely discusses biblical mandates for men in terms of love and relationships. It is an amazing study. I recommend reading the whole chapter, but we will specifically focus on Ephesians chapter 5, verses 22 through 33. So this is the Ephesians 5 man that they say is the perfect complement to the Proverbs 31 woman. And we did break down the Proverbs 31 woman a couple months ago, but we can absolutely talk about that again for kingdom marriage. But I'm letting you all know that this is where I got my acronym for leader, which is what we will be breaking down the first half of the word. So we will do LEA, and you all will have to tune in next week for DER, okay? And that's how the Lord told me to break it up. So we will do leader, and you all will be able to get those two parts over the next couple weeks. So when we think of a leader, we think of a partner like Adam, okay? We think of someone who cherishes his wife like Isaac, okay? We think of a provider like Boaz, honey. And we think of a protector like King Xerxes. Ooh, can I add another one, Holy Spirit? What can we say about Joseph, as in the literal earthly father to Jesus? Obedient like Joseph. That's the first word that came to me. Holy Spirit, is this you? When we think of the men of faith that were able to do the impossible, do the inconceivable, to live an unconventional life, these are some of the characteristics that came to mind immediately. Okay, you want a purpose partner like Adam, who is submitted to the purpose and realizes he needs a helper, a helpmate. Okay, he realizes and he's aware of his ability to thrive in purpose as a single man, but it is not good for him to be alone anymore, because you want someone to acknowledge that they don't want to do this life alone. Okay, you cannot force your way into being a helpmeet into someone's life. God will usher you in at a moment where the man realizes that it is not good for him to be alone. Well, God realizes, and he will put the man to sleep, okay? So God will be able to distinguish, okay, this is the time for me to introduce, his rib back to him so that they can thrive in partnership, okay? So you want a partner like Adam, okay? You want someone to cherish you like Isaac. In the story of Isaac and Rebekah, we see in Genesis chapter 24, when he met his bride for the first time, he loved her. Loved her. Every translation says that he loved her immediately. He was comforted immediately by her presence, by her personality, by her femininity probably, by her obedience and deference to serve a king that traveled thousands of miles to a stranger in a strange land, just so that she could be his divine vessel of love from God. That's essentially what she was, okay? She comforted her husband immediately with her presence, with her spirit, with her essence. Okay, and you want someone who looks at you and is like, that is my wife, okay? And so you want someone to cherish you like Isaac, or kings, you want to be able to cherish your wife like Isaac. You want someone, or, kings and queens want to be able to provide like Boaz, okay? The kings should aspire to provide like Boaz, and we're going to get into provision probably next week, or it could be today, we don't know. Then you want someone to be able to have a field that you could walk in and make better as a queen, okay? And you want to protect like King Xerxes. King Xerxes spared the life of his Christian bride, okay, just by being a Jew, of his Jewish wife, his Jewish queen, after she revealed her identity and was like, look, this is what they are plotting to do to the Jews. And if I die, I die. My goodness, you're going to lose your queen. And he was like, I will not let that happen. He protected her identity, her beliefs, her life. Okay? And when we think of leaders, these are some of the major qualities that these men displayed in their love stories and their faith stories. So let's get into it. That was not the acronym yet. So these are some of the terms that I pulled out from the Ephesians 5 man. And the first one is L, lead by example, lead in love. My daughter, you want someone who is able to lead in love, okay? Who understands that there are times where he will use, how do I want to say this, Holy Spirit? Where you can be a leader and not a dictator, okay? where you can be gentle and assertive. Okay, you can be gentle and assertive. You don't always have to be aggressive in your leadership style. Okay, leading by example means that you are the example set for your wife or for your family to emulate. Okay, you are leading by example, meaning that your position, your heart position, your disposition, okay, your attitude, okay, your approach to submission is modeled in a way that your family can appreciate and can respect and follow, adhere to. Okay, you leading by example means that you don't just speak a thing, you also take your own advice or counsel. You're not just speaking a thing to your family, you're also incorporating that into your life. So if you are trying to move your family into, just as an example, moving your family into a healthier lifestyle, you yourself are also implementing healthier choices, okay? You're leading by example. That was just an example. You're leading by example where you are not just talking the talk, honey, you are walking the walk. As a king, your walk and your talk must align, or else people will hear your words and see different actions and not know which to believe. And leading in love means the way that you are able to be confident in your ability to lead, to make decisions, but to be considerate of other people's feelings, to be considerate of the tone, of the language, of the nonverbal language, okay, of the timing of implementing certain decisions, destiny decisions, being able to understand your wife's needs, being sensitive to her emotions, especially when making destiny decisions where she may not always be on board, but because of her heart of submission, she will still honor and respect you. And you need to be able to lead in such a way that honors her honor for you, okay? That honors her decision to continue to submit to you, even when she doesn't understand. Even when she may not be 100% sold, she's still giving you her loyalty and her allegiance to the vision. And you need to be able to appreciate her level of submission in that moment in a way that she feels appreciated as well. Okay, and these are all things that the Lord will develop in you in your season of building. Okay, so the leader, the L, the one who is leading by example, he is proactive, proactively pursues God, is about his Father's business. Okay, he is the pastor of his family and he protects his family. And these are all embodied in leading by example and leading by love. So he can lead because he's allowed himself to be led. So he is leading by example because he has first allowed himself to be led. And now he has an example of how God leads him to be able to implement in his family and in his practices with you all, okay? He's allowed himself. He respects the divine order of the Godhead, of the Holy Trinity, okay? He respects that and he wants to come under that mission as well, under God, okay? So that his wife can come under him in a way that benefits the entire family, okay? So this is a biblical mandate, okay? This is found in Ephesians chapter 5, where the man is the leader called to love his wife as Christ loved the church. And so they're even referencing the divine order that is going on there. And so he honors the biblical mandate to be the leader, okay, of the spiritual leader of the household. He's created to provide leadership, to provide other structures in the relationship, okay, to provide stability in that relationship, security. And we're going to get to those things as she provides support and encouragement. So in stepping into his role, he further allows his wife to step into her role. If he is the leader, provider, and protector, she can come in as the support, inspiration, encouragement, cheerleader, okay, nurturer. And they can both dwell effortlessly in their roles with one another under the Godhead, okay? And this will further empower both parties to remain in those roles and to build or cultivate that harmony that will allow them to thrive in their marriage, that will allow them to thrive, okay? So leading in love, like I was trying to say earlier, it really means to do everything with a touch of care, gentleness, kindness, okay, respect, kind of being able to understand how to speak to your wife or to your family in a way that gets your point across without being harsh, okay? So there's no need to be a dictator, okay? When you truly lead by example, when you truly build a spirit of respect and not a spirit of fear in the people who are called to submit to you, you won't have to exercise control, okay, harsh control or being a controlling person, okay? Your leadership style can be assertive in the fact that when God tells us to jump, we don't say how high, we say yes. Okay, he's led by so much, he's led by example. Jesus Christ is led by example, that we can trust him the moment he gives us an instruction. And so you want to be able to cultivate that level of leadership in your life and in your family, so that when you give them instructions, they're not questioning your motives, questioning your leadership style. They're saying, yes, honey, we'll help you. We'll do it. Like, let's go. Let's do. Let's build. Okay. And you definitely want to get to a place where your family doesn't, they're not afraid of you. They don't respect you out of fear, but out of deference. Okay. Out of the way that you have become an assertive, trustworthy leader. Okay. So it's important to remember that you're dealing with an accomplished woman, an individual. Okay. Someone who is already submitted. And if she's already submitted to her King of Kings and subsequently you, it's not something that you're going to have to harshly demand from her, or maybe even continually reinforce. It's something that she willingly wants to give you. It's something that she's really excited to give you. Okay, King? And these are things to understand in your approach of making decisions, because you won't have to be so harsh and overbearing. You can really come to her in love and understanding with a little bit of, just that personal touch, or, that language that you have, that personal, the DNA in your marriage, however you all communicate with one another. You can convey decisions, your thoughts, okay, instructions from the Lord in that, caring, gentle way. And so how you lead is also important, in not just making the decisions, but how you convey those decisions to your family. And this absolutely ties into submission, okay? It's something that is modeled. If you lead in love, okay, your family will be inspired to submit in love, to follow in love, okay, to support in love, okay? And it will really just continue to cultivate a beautiful atmosphere of love, respect, honor, okay, submission, support. And these are all beautiful things, heart postures in which to thrive in a godly marriage or in a godly home, okay? So in order to gain respect, you really have to be a person worth respecting. Yes, people submit to dictators all the time, but that's because they use force and coercion and fear tactics to get people to submit or follow them. And it doesn't have to be that way in the kingdom. In fact, it's not. God is a just judge. He can be harsh with his children, but he does it lovingly. He promises to never leave us nor forsake us. Even when he is disciplining us as a father to a child, he still does it lovingly. It doesn't always make sense, and sometimes it does hurt. But when God disciplines, it is for your good. When God leads, it is for greener pastures. When God takes you through the valleys, that you will not be touched. Not even a shadow in the shadow of the death. Yeah, not even the shadow of death will touch you in the valleys. Psalms 23. And so we can trust when God leads us, even through darkness, even through misunderstanding, even through the inconceivable, that we are always getting closer to his plan for us, which is prosperity and abundance and life. Are you leading your family into life? Okay, are you leading your family lovingly into life decisions, life-bearing decisions, okay? And a true leader who leads by example lays his life down for others. Okay, we might have to just start with L on this video, my goodness. A true leader understands that this is a sacrificial role. Okay, to lead by example, to lead in love means that there will be sacrifices to be made, okay? And that you will have to die to self for the betterment of your family. But in you doing so, you will be taken care of, okay? Your needs will be met, okay? Your desires will be met, your expectations. And your family will be inclined and encouraged to support you in that, because they will see how committed you are to the vision, that you are willing to lay your life down for that vision. My goodness, what a power.